Hey, what's up, guys? This is Eric, Free NFL Bets, also at Easy Money Wins on Twitter. Coming at you, week two. All my game breakdowns and all my bets that I've released, and also what I'm going to lean on every single game, on sides and totals. Maybe I'll throw out some player props too. Think about it a little bit. But first, before we get into the games, let me recap last week. Last week, week one, I went 6-5. It's plus 2.2 units. It's a great season so far. Bet the preseason again. So total units won is 9.45 units. I'm 20-15. I think that's like 58%, right on schedule. So let's get going. Let's not waste any time here. We got Thursday night football, and it's the Bills and the Dolphins. I'm looking at the Dolphins minus 2.5 favorite. Total is kind of creeping down a little bit. It was at 50 yesterday or 2 days ago. Now it's at 49. I even see some 48.5. So a little bit of some under money coming in. And I'm a little torn on this game, guys, because I want to bet the Dolphins. I really do. And I might get there. I might get there. The only thing is, excuse me, the only thing is this whole Tyreek Hill with the cops, that whole situation, it's a distraction. And I know you could say, well, it was a distraction on Sunday. Yeah, you could say that too, but it was such a sudden thing. I think it was, kind of an energy lift. And I know they played awful in the first half, and I heard like Tua gave like a passionate speech at halftime. I hear all that. I hear all that. But I think it was like the adrenaline was pumping. Adrenaline was pumping. Like it wasn't such a mental thing. It was more of a shock thing. That shock kind of can still keep you up and playing well. With this situation, it's been marinating. It's been the story. That's all they talk about. It's probably all they've been talking about in the locker room. I mean, it's only been 4 days since that happened, right? So, and 3 days afterwards, they're still talking about it. They got a game tomorrow against a division opponent in Buffalo. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm probably gonna stay off of it unless I get like unless I think about it and something comes across. I'm like, no, this makes perfect sense. But I still lean that way because the Bills got tested. I mean, both teams are actually relatively healthy. I think Jalen Ramsey's going to play. I know Mostert's not going to play. Hn, he practiced today, so I think he's going to play. I think he's going to play. So I mean, both teams are relatively healthy. But the Bills got tested by the Cardinals last week a little bit. I mean, they're kind of sleepwalking in the first half too, and then they figured it out. So the Bills, I don't know, guys. Just travel short week, and that defense is a new group. They're still very talented, but it's still a new group. Oh yeah, that's the guy, Taron Johnson or Teron Johnson for the Bills secondary. He's not going to play. He's a really good player. But everyone else is playing though. I lean the Dolphins here, guys. I might get there with them. And the total, it's hard for these Thursday night games in season because I'm an under better. I like to bet unders, but Thursday night these teams are a little tired. They're a little beat up. It just kind of comes like a 7-on-7 match in a lot of cases where you know they're not trying to be physical and so I don't know. I kind of lean over. It's hard to bet unders on Thursday night. So that's where I'm at with that game. I haven't bet that game. Let's get to the next game. Next game, I've got the Raiders at the Ravens. Spread has come down to 8.5. It's Wednesday night. I'm doing the shows on Wednesday because I like to see the injury report. So it's Wednesday right now while I'm doing this show live. Plus 8.5. So it's a little buyback. I mean, the number 9 in the NFL is such a dead number. Games, it's like the most least likely number for a game, margin of victory to land on. At least within like 17, 20 points, something like that. Like it never lands on 9. So nine's kind of a dead number, 8.5, whatever. Total is at 41.5. I did bet 43. I released it on Twitter. That's where you can find all my plays at Easy Money Wins on Twitter. And at Free NFL Bets, I'm on Twitter there as well. I retweet all my easy money wins bets, so you can follow me there. And just going forward, guys, just kind of like a quick announcement. Uh, as there's not a lot of data and not a lot of stats for every team right now, these lines are still, in my opinion, very much opinionated based. So, meaning that like I think I know these teams before they're going to show themselves, and I've kind of done well with this in the past couple of years, like at the beginning of the season. Like, they're still trying to understand how to put the line out for these teams, and so and then they're still trying to say, hey, is this an over team? Is this an under team? Like so forth. So there's not a lot of data. They only have 1 week's worth of data, probably going off of like last year's, probably going off of kind of like a rough area. That in my opinion, I don't know if that's like for sure, but that's what it feels like. Um, so I'm saying that is that I see a lot of value and I see a lot of bets this week I like, and I'm betting them early because as the season goes on, there's more stats on each team. There's more opinion. There's more knowledge of what these teams are showing themselves, and people have stronger opinions, and then the lines move or they're set more accurately around a good number, a good betting number. Initially, right now, these lines are moving more, in my opinion. So that's why I'm trying to get out ahead of it. I'll release a lot of bets on Sunday night, and then also Monday, and then usually right about this time where I'm doing the podcast on Wednesdays, it'll start to settle a little bit after that first injury report. Like Wednesday evening, first injury report's out for the week. Lines are going to move a little bit, and then I think it's going to kind of stay until Friday evening for the final injury report, and then also Saturday, Sunday morning, it'll move like crazy. So yeah, but yeah, I bet under 43 on Sunday. It's at 41.5. I still like under 41.5. I'm fine with that. I really am. And the biggest thing is why I like the under in this game is the Ravens at home off a loss. They're going to be focused. And the defense gave up too many points last week. And I just love a focused Ravens team at home to really stifle the Raiders' offense, which didn't execute against the Chargers. And I think the Ravens and the Chargers, I think their defenses are Ravens are a little bit better in my opinion. I still like the Chargers. I mean, I do like the Chargers, but I won't give them the Raven status yet. So, Raiders on the road, 1 o'clock game. They're a West Coast team traveling east. Ravens off a loss. I think they're going to stifle the Raiders. What do the Ravens do well? They run the ball well, and the Raiders didn't do a very good job of stopping the run last week. So I think the Ravens are going to get a lead. They're going to run the ball, keep milking the clock. I easily see like a 27-10 Ravens win, 37 points right there. But then also for the Ravens offense, their offensive line is new. The interior's new. They lost their 2 guards last year. Now they have a rookie left tackle, I believe. Or rookie left tackle. And so I just don't trust that offense line. I love Patrick Graham, the Raiders defensive coordinator. He's really good with his schemes that he draws up. And I like the Raiders' new defense this year. I do. And they did pretty well last week against the Chargers for a majority of the game. So, and I know the Chargers' offense is still like a work in progress too, but still, I like the Raiders' defense. I do. So, I feel great. I still like 41.5. You want to bet it there? I would bet 3 units on that. That's what I bet the under 43 at. The spread, like I said, 8.5. I might get there with the Ravens. I might get there with it. I don't know. I'm still like kind of trying to be bold and brave enough to bet these higher spreads. It's not my wheelhouse yet. It will be, but I'm kind of staying away from it for right now. All right, next game. Chargers traveling to Carolina to play the Panthers. It is a little bit of an interesting. Gosh, it stopped again. The YouTube guys. I'm sorry on YouTube. You're following me on YouTube. I got to get this right. I don't even think I touched my keyboard and it stopped working again. Anyways, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Push through this the YouTube issue. Chargers -6. And I have not bet this game. I have weird feelings, guys. I don't know why. I really like the potential of Bryce Young and this new offense under Canales. I like it. I think there's real potential there. So, and I know it's going to show itself. At least I think it is. I mean, so that's why I'm kind of like, this is a Panthers spot. They got embarrassed. They're coming home. They lost Derek Brown for the season, but other than that, they're relatively healthy. The injury report, I know the two inside guards, they're a little banged up, but they practice. So it looks like everyone's pretty much going to play. And I don't know. I +6 at home. They're going to give a great effort. They have this Panthers team on defense, they have a lot of the same guys there that have been there for a while, for like last 3, 4 seasons. And then offensive line, it has some cohesion there too. And I don't know, guys. It's a Panthers spot, and that's why it makes me nervous uh, to get there with them because they've been bad for so long. And it's just like I don't know. I really don't know. Um, so yeah, I'm staying off of it. And I mean, it's really a toss up for me, guys. I mean, the Chargers are such a public side, and just like, hey, just let's trash on the Panthers. And they're probably gonna be put in every single teaser, and I don't know, guys. I don't know. I know Carolina has some pride. I know they have some pride, especially in that defensive room. So they're gonna give it their all. I really believe that, guys. The Chargers over under Panthers is 39, 38 and a half, 39 and a half. Some places it looks like. Uh, I lean over, even though I like both of these defenses. And the only reason I lean over is because I think the Panthers are going to score here a little bit. And I mean, to get to 40 points, they don't have to score a ton. It's just one team has to get to 23, one team has to get to 17. So, and I think one of these teams gets to 23, 24 points for sure. I really do. I think the winner gets to 23, 24, and the loser's right around 17. And I think the Panthers score a little bit here, guys. So I do lean over. I thought about it a little bit, but again, this is my betting philosophy. It's one of my rules. I do not bet stuff that I don't know. I'm not in it to gamble, guys. I'm in it to make money. And, um, simply that. I'm in it to make money. So, no guesses. I still need to see Bryce Young in this new offense to get a better opinion about it and everything. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that game. All right, Saints Cowboys. Let's see. I bet this game both ways, side and total. The side's at +6.5 for the Saints right now, and the total is at 46.5. Let me see here. So yeah, so if you bet, if you follow me on Twitter, I bet 45.5. Again, 45 is not really a key number in totals. 46.5, I'm still fine with that too. But a little bit of over money came, so I was out ahead of the curve, guys. And I mean, it's kind of a testament to my success. Like, I'm a long term, winning sports bettor. I've won consistently over the last 3 NFL and NBA seasons. A lot of volume, and so I can pretty much know which way the lines are going to move. Pretty much for every single game, side and total. I bet you, like, if you ask me on Sunday night, which way are these lines going to move? Like, are they going to close above or below this number? I'm pretty confident I could get like 90 to 95% of those lines right. So again, if you want line value, you want all that stuff, I pretty much get better than closing line value on all my plays. And I don't take crazy juice either. That's the other thing. So again, I bet this 45.5 is 46.5 now. I think it keeps going up. And a simple reason why I like the over money, and I mean why I like the over and why the over money is coming in, is because the Cowboys at home. Well, no, sorry. The first reason is this: both of these defenses last week played awful offenses. They played The Cowboys played the Browns. They were not very good, and I mean, the bottom line was this, and we'll get to the Browns, but Deshaun Watson, his dad died like last week, and he just wasn't. He wasn't feeling it. He wasn't. He wasn't good. He probably shouldn't have played. Honestly, he probably shouldn't. Has he also not been good since he's got to Cleveland? Yeah, there's that too. So I mean, it's probably a little bit of both, but he could have played better than what he played then. Like that was really bad, guys. So the Cowboys defense did not play a good offense, and then the Saints played the Panthers. I know I just spoke about the Panthers and how I kind of like their offense and that they're going to figure it out, or at least I like the possibility, and I think that possibility will show itself. But for the Saints, they got a bad Panthers offense last week, and so bottom line is, they're playing way better offenses this week. The Saints with Clint Kubiak, the son of Gary Kubiak, he's the offensive coordinator for New Orleans now, and he's like an OG disciple, right? I mean, uh, Gary Kubiak, sorry, the father was like with uh, Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan's dad, back in the '90s. They're like the OGs of the West Coast of like the really good run game West Coast offense. Like they know what they're doing with that. And so if there's anybody that I trust like offensive mind in the NFL, I mean number one, it's the Shanahan tree, like Shanahan Kubiak tree. Trust them for sure. Then Andy Reid, absolutely. Those two guys for sure. But so yeah, Clint Kubiak's there. He's running the offense for the Saints. I think it's great. I mean, Dennis Allen, he hasn't been a good head coach, but he's very good at calling defense. He's been a great defensive coordinator for the Saints for many years. So if he finally has a competent offensive coordinator that can like get the best out of Derek Carr, maybe the Saints actually do what people think they can do, or well, what they thought they could have done last year. So yeah, Saints offense is a lot better, and the Cowboys defense, I their defense is still not amazing. It's not like they lost their leader in Dan Quinn, right? They lost Deron Bland right now for a little bit of time, and oh, excuse me. So, and I still think they can be. You can run the ball on the Cowboys. So I just think the ball's going to be moving in this game. Derek Carr is turnover prone. Turnovers are good for overs. And then the Cowboys at home, they just score points. Like the last couple seasons, like if they're favored, they score points. Dak Prescott lights it up. So, and the crazy thing is, we don't even need them to light it up in this game, right, guys? We don't need to light them up. 47 is a key number in totals betting. So 46 and a half, but 45 to what I bet at 45 and a half, there's no difference. Just bet the 46 and a half for 3 units like I did. Um, the winner's gonna get both these teams are gonna get into the 20s. I feel very confident in that. And if the Saints don't, the Cowboys will get into the 30s most likely, or the high 20s. So like 28-20, I like that. That gets us there. But yeah, I like both teams to get into the 20s. I really do. Uh, Sidewise, I bet New Orleans +7. It's now +6.5. I'd be really, really surprised, bearing any like crazy late injury news, that the Saints go up to +7 again. It was like +7 for a hot second on Monday morning, and I bet it, or Sunday evening, Sunday night, and I bet it now 6.5. Like it's probably not going to touch 7 again. That's my opinion. I really do believe Saints money's coming, because the Saints are good. Like I think they're live to win this game. So I don't understand why the line's this high. I think it should be more like -4 for the Cowboys, -4.5, somewhere around there. Not 6.5. That's too many points. And then I got a 7. Definitely fine with that. Saints can keep this close. Yeah, I know Marshawn Lattimore might not play, but that's okay. That's okay. The Saints are gonna be able to move the ball. I'm not too worried about that. They're gonna be able to score it. It'll be close. I think it'll be like 27-24. Somebody wins it around there. All right, let's keep it going, guys. Next game, Buccaneers and the Lions. And I did kind of jump the trigger on this a little bit. There's the reason. So this line was at -6.5 Sunday evening, and then there was a 7 that popped up. I bet the +7 on the Buccaneers, and then the news about Antoine Winfield came out, and then also the Zion McCullum, their like other cornerback, but he doesn't have that much experience, so I'm not really concerned about that. Um, essentially, they're probably not going to play this week, and so there's going to be like really, really inexperienced uh, cornerback and one safety play. I think their backup safety is actually okay, but I know the two secondary guys opposite of Jamel Dean are iffy. Like, they might have a really bad day. And, that kind of jumped the gun there. I still like plus 7.5 now. I'm okay with plus 7. I mean, if the injury report gets worse for the Bucks, then and the line doesn't go up too much, I might hedge out and just eat the juice and take the Lions -7, -7.5. I might do it. I really might. Um, but yeah, that's all I got on that game, guys. I mean, the Lions. So the front seven for the Bucks, it's actually pretty healthy, and I mean the guys practiced today. Gosh, I forgot his name. Cansey, or yeah, something like that. Like the guy out of Pittsburgh, that guy, that defense tackle. He practiced today. One of the other guys practiced limited today too. So I think they all play. I think they play. That secondary is a little concerning for sure. I can't say that's not. But the Lions defense and just the way the Buccaneers are gelling on offense, like I'm not convinced the Lions defense is there yet. They have a lot of promise and a lot of potential, but I don't think they're there yet. I think the Bucks can score on this game on the Lions, and that's why this line is like what 51, 51 and a half, 51. Yeah, the over under. I didn't bet the over under. I lean over. I think the Bucks. I think the Bucks score, and the reason why I think the Bucks give a good effort is because the Bucks actually. I mean, and why should they not? They've won the division, the NFC South, like 4 years in a row or something like that, right? Or three years in a row, 3 years in a row, and so they went to the playoffs 3 years in a row, and they've had some success a little bit here and there, and obviously the Super Bowl 4 years ago. And so a lot of those players on that team, they actually think they have a shot this year. I don't think they do. But I can guarantee you that the belief in that room is there. And they lost in the playoffs by one possession to the Lions in Detroit last year. That was their last game last season. So Buccaneers in a competitive game, they're gonna come with a competitive mindset, giving me a touchdown plus 7. And honestly, are they worse than the Rams, who the Lions played on Sunday night? I don't think so, guys. I think the Buccaneers are a little better than the Rams, and that line closed at like -4.5. So to get plus 7, I see value on the Buccaneers even without Winfield and the other cornerback. I'm rocking with the Bucks plus 7. All right, next game. Man, I don't like this next game. Colts and the Packers. I do not have a bet on this game, and it's tough, guys. I lean the Colts. I lean them. It's -3 even money, or -105 now on the Colts. I mean, there's a lot of Packers money. It's just the thing is this, guys. On week 2, there's just a lot of data on a team that lost the previous week, or lost week 1 and then is an underdog in week 2. They're like 67% against the spread since 2005. It's like over 100 bet sample size. And that's like 20 years of history where these underdogs that lost week 1 and are underdogs in week 2, they just cover the spread. And so I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's Malik Willis. I don't trust Malik Willis, but then I also don't trust Anthony Richardson right now. Anthony Richardson went what 9 of 19 last week for 220 yards, and he got like all of his 220 yards on 2 completions, or at least it was basically like that, right? So, I mean, Anthony Richardson's not a great quarterback, and then the Packers, I like their secondary. I don't know, guys. That's tough. I do lean the Colts, but I know the Packers are going to bring it. They're going to rally behind Malik Willis. I really like LaFleur. He's from the Kyle Shanahan tree. He knows how to run a really good offense. I trust LaFleur to scheme guys open. Easy throws for Malik Willis. But man, I really don't trust Malik Willis. So I kind of like the Anthony Richardson, Jonathan Taylor run game against the Packers defense, and I don't know about the total either because it's 41. Seems a little high. I think that got bet up. I think it was more like 38, 39. I could be wrong on that. I think it was opened at like 38, 39, 40 points. And again, I don't know. Maybe I'm giving LaFleur a little too much credit with Malik Willis, and I'm not like realizing Malik Willis really isn't that good. But then Anthony Richardson's not amazing either. There could be a lot of turnovers that could spark an over. Maybe that's why there's some over money coming in. I don't know, guys. That's a weird one. I gotta let that one go. I gotta let that one go. I really do. If I bet the Colts, guys, like just comment on Twitter, like, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? Seriously. I mean, I kind of want to bet the Colts, but I don't. I'm gonna leave that there, guys. I'm gonna leave that there. And I know it's crazy. I already got 10 bets posted for the week. I'm a high volume better, so you guys probably think I'm crazy for like saying no. I have discipline. I have discipline. I can stay off these games. Like I can. I can't explain it. Like it's weird, right? Like I'll probably have 15 to 17 bets this week across all 16 games, which is crazy. But yeah, I try to stick to stuff that I think is predictable. This is a little bit predictable. I think it can be predictable. I don't know, guys. I got a weird feeling about that one. I'm gonna stay off that. All right, next game. Excuse me. Next game is the Browns at the Jaguars. Both teams lost last week. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, both teams lost last week. Jaguars are -3 favorites. Over under is at 41.5. I will be involved in this game. I have not bet it yet, but most likely I am going to bet it. Let's see. Just sorry, guys. Just a second. I got a cough. Okay. Jaguars. I will be on the Jaguars. Simple reason is this: the Browns play the Giants, I believe, next week at home. The Browns will get a win. I know both teams are 0-2, and I know, I mean 0-1, and I just talked about like teams that lost week 1 or underdogs week 2 or 67% against the spread. That would fall into the Browns category. But the Jaguars are also 0-1. They're not the underdog. Someone's got to be the favorite, right? So I'll take the home team that lost last week and really lost in bad fashion at Miami with the fumble late in the third quarter by ETN going into the end zone. You know, and then and there's just it's kind of like the Dolphins situation. There's a lot of reasons. I will be on the Jaguars for sure. The line's coming down. Very happy that the line's coming down. Love to get a 2.5. I think we might get there with the 2.5. I really do. I think there's a lot of people high on the Browns. I know there was some Browns love last week, so I think we get there with a -2.5. As soon as it hits 2.5 at a good juice number, a good vig, I will be on the Jaguars -2.5. And the reason is this. There's lots of reasons, but the main reason is the Deshaun Watson. There's just a lot going on there, right? And I don't trust their get right game to be on the road in Jacksonville with him still mourning the loss of his father. Apparently, he wasn't close to his father, but he said it's still affecting him. Rightfully so. I can't speak for that. I have a very present father in my life, but uh, even if it affects you, that's still your dad. I know not everyone can be like Brett Favre and play like that when your dad passes away. So he's going through that, and then also another woman just filed another lawsuit against him. He's got to be like, "Are you serious? This is happening? Like this is like over 2 years since the last one, or something like that." And like now you're doing it again, or another case. So I'm not saying that like, I'm just saying probably what he's thinking, like how he's internalizing that. I'm not like saying like, oh, it's wrong of the woman to do that. No, I mean, if you feel like you have a case, you feel like you need to do that, you should do it. So yeah, so he's going through all of that, right? And then the Jags are just like, we got to get this game because they go at Buffalo in Week 3 on Monday Night Football, and then they're at Houston, which is like, the new top dog in the AFC South. They're getting a lot of hype. The Jaguars are going to be up for that game. They're going to be up for both those games. I mean, it's Monday Night Football at Buffalo. That's a big game, and then also on the road after that at Houston. So if they don't win this game, guys, they're staring at 0-4. And there's just too much. There's too many expectations. There's too much good going on in Jacksonville. I think they had a very good free agency. I think the offensive line is healthy. Everything is in a really good place for Jacksonville. So for them not to win this game and to potentially go 0-4, because they're not going to be favored in the next two games. Definitely not. And I don't really like them to win those next two games. So I think they win this game. I think they take this game. They're not going to start 0-4. If they're going to get a win out of the next three games, it's got to be this one. And I think they know that. I think they know that this is a game they have to have, even early in the season. I think there's importance. I think the home crowd's going to be there. And I think the Browns are just, they're not quite where Jacksonville is. I think Jacksonville is in a much calmer situation where they just need to go out and execute. Like the Browns have a lot of other stuff going on right now. So I do trust the Jaguars to win this game. I'll be on -2.5 as soon as it hits, and if not, I'll take -3. I'm fine on -3, like really good juice, like -105, -110. I'll take that too. I'll live with that. The over under, I will be on this as well, guys. I will be on the under 41.5. I have not released it yet. I will probably tonight. It's probably as soon as I'm done with this podcast and I get everything uploaded on YouTube and all that stuff, I'll probably be on there. And the reason is this, again, a lot going on with Cleveland, right? A lot going on with Deshaun Watson. Yes, Tyson Campbell, the cornerback, Jags' best cornerback, is probably not going to play this week, or he's already been ruled out, something like that. But the Browns are, again, like I said, not quite there yet. And there's some offensive tackle health as well. And the Jaguars front seven, I've liked it the past 2 seasons. They haven't lived up to it. I think they're finally going to live up to it. They looked really damn good last week. They got some big boys up front. Big boys up front. I mean, all of them are like 6'5". All of them are like over 265 pounds, even the defensive ends. Like, they're big. They can handle this Cleveland offensive line, or at least keep up with them and keep it like not getting out of control. So I don't think the Browns are going to be able to run the ball well, and they may be able to pass the ball well, but I still think there's enough back there in the secondary, even without Tyson Campbell. I still think there's enough back there with Darnell Savage, Cisco, Ronald Darby. I still and yeah, I already said Darnell Savage. I think there's enough back there to at least not have the Browns go crazy. And on the other side, the Browns defense is still pretty good. Now there were a couple injury things that popped up today. I think Jeremiah Wusu Koromoa, I think he popped up. Like, I want him to play for sure. I think Denzel Ward and Emerson Jr. I think popped on it too. But I think they practice. I think they're going to play this week, guys. I really do. So again, the Jaguars, they want to keep running the football. They finally got this offensive line that's healthy. They want to make sure Trevor Lawrence, sorry, not Trevor Jones. Trevor Lawrence doesn't turn the ball over. So they want all this stuff, right? So how do you do that? You run the football. That, and I think the Jaguars have the way better passing game, and I think that they're going to win. So I think they're going to be up. So I don't think they're going to have to pass. So that's kind of another thing with like the over-unders. It's kind of correlated, in my opinion. Like, if you like a side, then it's probably going to play one way to the over to the under. In some cases, it could kind of go either way, but with this line value, 41 is a key number, and I'm getting the hook, 41.5. Yeah, I will be betting the under in this game. As soon as this podcast is done, that number's not going anywhere. 9:16 at night, that number's not going anywhere unless some crazy news injury comes out of the woodworks. or Deshaun Watson suspension. I don't know. So who knows? But yeah, I'm gonna be on the under 41.5. All right, next game. Sorry, I went a little bit long on that. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to give you as much knowledge as I know because I wish I had something like this when I first started out, like someone who's like really teaching me the ropes on how to bet the NFL and how to look at the games and also the line movement and all that stuff. So I'm trying to drop a lot of knowledge out here. And yeah, so I hope you guys appreciate that. I guess I'm at 35 minutes in. Drop a like, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all the social networks at Easy Money Wins. It's just as like it sounds, Easy Money Wins with the S at the end. I release all my plays for free on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter. As soon as I bet them myself with my own money, then I release them on Twitter. And I don't release plays that I don't bet. And everything that I do bet, I tell you guys. So literally everything I'm betting, you guys are getting for free. And it's winning information, been proven. I got over 3,000 NFL and NBA bets over the last 3 years. Most people don't even bet that much. I'm not saying, and I mean, to each their own. If you don't bet a lot of volume and you're still really good, hey, that's all that matters, right? You're profitable, you're winning it consistently. That's great. I got no problem with that. But in terms of like validity, the more that you're betting, and if that percentage, your winning edge is still there, your sample size is larger. That means like you really know your shit. You really do. And I know my stuff, guys. So yeah, all right, enough of that. Enough of that. Let's keep going. Next game is the 49ers at Minnesota. If you guys remember last year, the 49ers lost to Minnesota on Monday night. And Christian McCaffrey had a fumble like in the first quarter, and it just crazy stuff happened. And then Vikings had some like long touchdown passes like right before the half too. It was kind of a crazy Monday Night Football game. So I know the 49ers remember that. I know they remember that, right? They're going to be talking about that. And Christian McCaffrey probably is not going to play this week, but they don't need him to win games. Honestly, they probably don't even need him to win the Super Bowl. I mean, Kyle Shanahan, I hold him in that high of regard. His play calling and what he does, like he doesn't need him. I mean, he got to the Super Bowl with. Well, I mean, Mostert was really good. I can't even like throw shade on Mostert. Mostert's legit. But anyways, 49ers, Jordan Mason at running back, they'll be fine. Defense, still really, really good. I don't know sidewise, guys. I really don't know sidewise because I like the Vikings defense a lot this year, guys. I really, really do. I thought adding Gilmore at the end of training camp was amazing. I thought the trade that they got to get Greenard was really, really good. I just think their front seven is disruptive in general, especially with the rookie out of Alabama. Gosh, I forgot his name. Turner. I think Dallas Turner is his name. There's a lot to like back there, and I like the other secondary guys too. I like what was it, Brian Murphy, something like that. He's very good in my opinion. And then I like the safeties. So I like the under in this game. I think I'm gonna get there. It's on my list of I need to do a little more digging. And I think I'm giving Sam Darnold a little bit too much credit because I mean he was very efficient last week, but they still only scored like something like 17 or 20 offensive points because Daniel Jones threw the pick six. So I mean it's not like the Vikings offense scored a ton. And I really don't think they're gonna be able to run the ball against the 49ers. The 49ers front seven is still legit. Very, very good. So it's going to be Sam Darnold against a 49ers secondary, which is I like the potential of the 49ers secondary. Where it is right now, I know they played well last week, but where it is right now, I think it can be beat a little bit, exposed a little bit. I don't think it's locked down like it has been in kind of years past. I think there's room to exploit that. And Sam Darnold, and I kind of say this because maybe I'm pulling Sam Darnold too high because I thought Sam Darnold was the best quarterback back in that draft class. And I think that he just hasn't had a good opportunity. And I think now he finally has a good opportunity. with Kevin O'Connell, which is from the Sean McVay tree, which is Sean McVay's from the Kyle Shanahan tree. So anybody from that tree, I hold respect to for sure. And so also, Sam Darnold came from the 49ers last year, the Kyle Shanahan tree. So Sam Darnold knows this offense pretty well already, most likely, or a lot of the concepts of like, where he should look during pass plays and stuff. So I really like Sam Darnold and the Vikings' potential this year, even offensively. And then they have weapons, right? But I don't know if Jordan Addison's going to play this week. I think they need him if if this was get to go over the total. I don't think it does though, and I think I'm going to bet the under because I think I need to remove my Sam Darnold soft spot on my heart where I think it's going to be amazing, and be like, hey, well, yeah, that too. Also, now that I think about it, I didn't even think about this angle. He went against the 49ers a lot in practice. The 49ers know Sam really well. You know, huh? Yeah, this game is staying under, guys, because this number's way too high. It's at 45 and a half, 46 at some places. Yeah, that's a little too high. I think this total should be closer to 43. I think it should be more set around 43 and a half. So 45, 46. That's a little high. I think give me the better offense on the road. I like that for unders because, yeah, offenses, tend to do better at home just in general. So if I'm getting the better offense between the two of them on the road, that means they're probably not going to do as well as Minnesota, or they're not going to have as an efficient day as they had if they were at home. And so I kind of like a close game here. I could see like a 23-20 game, 21-24 game, something like that. Yeah, that's the under 45. That'd be 45 on the dot. That'd be good. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm leaning on that game, guys. I'm probably going to get there on the under 45 and a half. I just need to do a little more digging on the injury report and just all the information I look at. All right, next game is the Seahawks Patriots. I got the Patriots plus 3.5 in my pocket already. I did bet the Patriots plus 3.5. It's interesting. It went to like -4 on Monday night, and on Sunday night, it got bet down to 3.5 and even 3. And I bet it at plus 3.5 -110. Now it's back to 3.5, and there's more money on the Patriots again. So it's plus 3.5 with juice -115. Um, yeah, I will be very surprised if this goes to 4. It's not going to go to 4. It's going to go down. I think by kickoff, it'll probably be -3 painted everywhere, but I wouldn't even be surprised if it goes plus 2.5 for the Patriots. And the reason is this: yes, the Patriots play on Thursday Night Football. Yes, they're kind of coming off a win, so you could say it's kind of a flat spot. But also, the Seahawks are coming off a win. A very nice win, where they had to kind of rally in the first. But they're probably thinking highly of themselves. But more so, just the style of this game. I love both of these defenses, and I love both of these quarterbacks to not mess up. So, and not to do like amazing. So I expect a very close game, and I like the home team. It's going to be Mayo's first home game as a head coach. I know he's been there for forever, but it's still his first home game as a head coach. I want to know. There's probably going to be a little excitement. Seattle's a West Coast team traveling east. 1 o'clock start. So I like the Patriots at home, guys. I do. I really do. I think they can run the ball on Seattle a little bit. Seattle secondary I respect more, but I don't think the Patriots are gonna need that. And even better in our favor, I think the Seahawks defense might take the Patriots offense a little lightly. I think they might be like, oh, they only scored 16 points last week. They're still not very good. I think that's bad. I think the Patriots take advantage of that. I think they come out with more energy than the Seahawks at home, and just the whole dynamic of a 1 o'clock East Coast game for a West Coast team coming out, and they're off a win too. I like the Patriots to keep it close. I love that defense to fluster the Seahawks offense, especially. Kenneth Walker didn't practice today. I feel like they really need him if they want a chance to win Seattle. But again, Seattle can win by a field goal, and we win this bet, guys. I feel very confident about this bet. plus 3.5 Patriots. I think it's a Patriot spot all the way. I'm not going to get involved with the total. The total is like 38.5, 37.5. I think it's right around there. I think the winner's like 20-17, and I could see it being a little lower, but I don't know. I'm not going to get too involved with that total. Hopefully, in future games we can get involved in the total because I love both of these defenses, and I don't like these offenses. So I think they're going to go under a majority of the season. All right, next game is the Jets and the Titans. I'm at 45 minutes already. I'm sorry, guys. I go a little long-winded, but I like my style. I'm going to keep going. I mean, for the guys that want to listen for all this long and love what I'm doing, this is for you. This is for you guys. And the ladies. I know there's a lot of ladies betting right now, too, and they're getting into the space heavy now, too. So, this is for you guys for sure. So let's keep going with it. Jets minus 3.5 right now. Man, guys, that number was going down today, and I got a little excited. I thought it might touch -3 for the Jets. I am going to be betting the Jets, even if it's -3.5, even if it's -4. I'm not going to be happy if it's -4, but and the reason is this: the team that wins in sports betting, the team that wins covers the spread like something crazy, like 82% of the time. At least in the NFL for sure. But even in the NBA, which I bet too, the NBA it's like 75% to 80% of the time. The team that wins covers the spread. Now, obviously, yeah. I mean, if the team's an underdog and they win, duh, they're going to cover the spread. But even when favorites win, favorites cover the spread when they win a large majority of the time. And I am going to be very surprised if the Jets do not win this game. They finally have Aaron Rodgers. He made it out the first game healthy. He can play. He still looked really good. They played arguably the best defense in the NFL last week. On the road, home opener, Monday Night Football. Very, very well coached team of the 49ers. Like, yeah, it's a no-brainer the Jets, didn't look great. Or, yeah. So the only thing is this. I really, really, really like the Titans defense, guys. If you listened to my podcast last week, I was spot on with them on the Bears Titans under. I was spot on that. It got a little scary at the end with Will Levis giving the other team points, and then they blocked a punt. But that Titans defense only gave up 7 points last week, or 10, or 13, something like that. I don't even think they gave up an offensive touchdown. I don't think the Titans gave up an offensive touchdown, guys. Yeah, they didn't. So that Titans defense is really good. I'm telling you guys. It's really good. Even if you don't love Will Levis, as long as the Titans are, getting a lot of points, and this is why this game is kind of like, compelling. There's money on both sides right now for sure. There's people that think the Titans are a live dog, and maybe they are, but the thing that I like the most is that I know Aaron Rodgers is not going to turn the ball over. At least historically, he has not turned the ball over a lot. Like, rarely throws interceptions, right? So Will Levis, he threw a really bad interception last week, and he only threw 4 interceptions last year in like 8 games. So he doesn't turn over the ball that much either. And so that's why I like the under in this game. And I already did bet the under 41.5 because, a little trick of the trade. If you're betting unders, you don't want turnovers. You don't want turnovers. You just want 3 and outs so that the team has to go a long distance to score whatever points, if they score any points. You want them to go 70 yards, not 20 or 30, So, yeah, I think Will Levis is going to be very careful this week. I don't think he's going to force anything. And then I trust the Jets defense to bounce back. I really do. This offensive line is not the 49ers offensive line. They'll be able to have their way. They're going to be pissed off. The coaches are going to demand more from that front seven. That front seven has too much accountability, too much pride. They're going to show up. They're going to play well. The Jets will play well on Sunday. So even if the Titans win, it's going to be low scoring. So under 41.5, I love that. I think it's at under 40 now. Yeah, it's 40.5. I would still bet at 40.5. I just love 41, such a key number in totals betting. That 41.5 is like a clear sign to me. It's like, all right, bet it now, bet it now. But also, when it comes down to it, I think the Jets score a little bit, and I think they score just enough to outdo the Titans. And personally, I don't think the Titans score much at all. I think the most they get to is 16 points. I think the Jets get to just at 20, if not maybe a little below that, in a game where they would hold the Titans like only 13 points or 10 points. So I could see a 17-13 win, 17-10 win for the Jets. That would cover the under and the -3.5. So that's what I'll be on. I'm going to wait all week to see if that line can get to -3 on the Jets. And then even if it gets to -3, I'll see if there's even more money. There's a chance that there could be a lot of money on the Titans and it could come to like +2.5. I don't think it will. I really don't. So I'll probably bet -3 as soon as it gets to -3. But we'll see. We'll see, guys. All right, next game. This is the last 1 o'clock game. Giants at the Commanders. And man, I want to bet the Commanders, guys. I really do. I really do. The over-under. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. So the over-under was, I did bet this game already on the over-under. I bet under 43.5. It got to 44 today, 44.5. And now there's finally the buyback. And that's when I released it on Twitter, I said the same thing. I was like, it could go a little higher, but I don't think it's going to get to 44.5 when I bet it under 43.5 at even money. And sure enough, guys, like I'm telling you guys, I know this stuff. I know these lines very, very well. I had a really good feeling it was not going to go above 44.5. And sure enough, here it is. It's at 43.5. And it's probably going to go down a little bit more. So, yeah, I'm on that. The simple reason is this. I like both of these defenses. I do. The Giants played pretty good defense last week. Not amazing, but pretty good. And the Commanders' front seven, in my opinion, is still good. And the back end is not. But at home, coming off a bad loss where they gave up a lot of points, I think they bounced back. I think the new fan base is rejuvenated. They got a new coach, obviously second year of new ownership, new name. I think the fan base is rejuvenated. And I know there's like a huge petition out there for like the Redskins name to come back. So I know there's a lot of fans. Like I'm from the DMV area. Like I get it. I know, but still, like there's positive movement happening for the Commanders right now. So I think the secondary plays better. Obviously, the Giants are going to try to play better, but they might play a little bit better, but again, this number's high. 43.5 for these two teams. That's high, guys. That's too high. It's too inflated, in my opinion. 23-20 we cash. I don't think both teams are going to get into the 20s. I don't. Jaden Daniels, he's still figuring things out as an NFL quarterback. They don't have great receivers to throw to. I like the offensive line better, but the Giants' front seven on defense, they're just very, very good. I really, really like that front seven. Really like that front seven for the Giants. I think they can control games. That's how high I hold them. So yeah, I don't think the Commanders are going to have a great offense today. They don't have a great offensive system, anyways. And then same with the Giants. Like, I don't think the Giants are going to go crazy here. I don't. These home teams, especially coming off poor performances, where they have a lot of pride, where they're still engaged, where they still have belief in themselves, season's still young, the Commanders are going to come out, they're going to play very good defense. That's what's going to happen. Like 43.5, that's too much. This line should go back down to 41.5, around where it opened. 40, 41. That's where it should open. I mean, that's where it should go down to. So, yeah. As far as the side goes, man, I want to bet the Commanders -1.5. I do, and I might get there. I'm really thinking about it, but I don't know. I have a weird feeling that the Giants are gonna play well this week, and that I don't know. I could be wrong. I could just be like, it's just a train wreck in New York still. Like I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm iffy on that. I might get there with the Commanders. Okay, let's see here. Now to the 4 o'clock games. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games left. What time am I at? I'm at 55 minutes. All right, guys. Let's see if I could kind of go a little bit faster. Because I know once you get over like an hour, it's kind of like, Okay, my attention's kind of going somewhere else. So yeah, let's go. I did bet this Rams Cardinals game, not on the side. I'm kind of torn on the side. I think the Cardinals are the right side. I know the Rams are very well coached. I know the Rams have had the Cardinals numbered the past couple of seasons. Um, I do trust the Rams more with Matt Stafford, but you know what? I really think I'm going to get there with the Cardinals, guys. I really do. I think I'm going to get there with the Cardinals because they played well at home last year. They had a couple really good home wins, like shocking home wins without Kyler. So I I just think it lines up really well with the Rams injury situation. More so to Puka, and I trust McVay. I don't think it's like a huge issue, but just the new Rams defense is not amazing. I don't think they're going to be amazing this year. I think it's very beatable. I think you can move the ball on the Rams defense this year. And um yeah, so I think the Cardinals have a good offense. They do actually. Um they're going to move the ball. They're going to move the ball and they're going to score. So I did bet the over 49 and a half. There's been a little bit of under money. It's at like 49, 48 and a half. I like the over, guys. I think both teams get into the 20s. McVay knows how to do really well against this Cardinals defense. And then again, this Cardinals defense is still not very good, guys. It's not good. It's not good. The Rams are going to be able to run the ball on this team. Same with the Cardinals. I think it's going to be a back and forth game. I could see like 17-17 in the third quarter, and then there's just a flurry of points in the fourth quarter by each team just trading scores. So I'm probably going to get there with the Cardinals. I like the Cardinals at home. I think they get it done. I think they do. Um, Next game, Bengals and the Chiefs -5.5 on the Chiefs. The over under is 47.5. Haven't bet this game yet. I like the under 47.5, and the reason why I like this is because of the Bengals situation. Even if T Higgins plays this week, I'm still okay with that. And the reason is the Bengals are not going to be able to run the football this year. I really don't believe that. And then also the Chiefs front seven, I like. I thought they did a very nice job against Derrick Henry last week. Obviously, they let Lamar run, but Joe Burrow's not going to run. He's not a running quarterback. So I like the Chiefs front seven. The back four or five guys. I mean, McDuffie, Cook, the other safety I like, and then Chamari Connor. I like Chamari Connor. Watson, he was in position. I don't think he's amazing. He can definitely get beat for sure. But for this over under, I think it's a competitive low scoring game. And I say that because I really like the Bengals defense this year too. They talked about how they got some guys back, they're communicating better, and they played well last week. I mean, they played well. Only giving up 16 points, that's a good job. It's a good job. So, there's some injuries though that to monitor for the Bengals before I get there that I'll probably wait a little bit on. But I do like that game to go under 47.5. 47 is a key number in totals. And then I'm getting the hook too, so it can land on 47 on the key number. I like that, and I also think that this is kind of like a game where like Joe Public's like this is too easy 47 like Burrow Mahomes, but I think in reality Burrow's not, and just this Bengals offense without Joe Mixon. I mean, look what Joe Mixon did last week with Houston. He's a good running back still. I mean, he hasn't had that kind of game with the Bengals like in a very long time. So I like the Bengals to struggle offensively to continue, or at least not go crazy. And then for the Chiefs, this is just where it's kind of like I'm kind of like I don't know if I really want to get there with the Chiefs because they have some explosive players again. I mean, to have two guys, and I mean Hollywood Brown is not as fast as Xavier Worthy, but still Hollywood Brown's very fast. He can stretch the field. He can get loose. So for Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown, if he plays this week, if he plays this week, that's the question mark. Um, them playing off of each other, they're going to create a lot of separation, and Mahomes should be able to have a really nice day. The only thing is, both of these teams are very familiar with each other. It's kind of like it's kind of like a divisional game. That and there's also urgency for the Bengals to play really well, coming off a loss, and they've started slow the past couple of seasons. They really don't want to start slow again. So I think that they really gear up and rev up on the road here. But I think it starts with their defense because I don't think no matter how hard that they try offensively, I don't think the Bengals offense is there yet. And I honestly don't know how good they're going to be this year because I think that the lack of running back and heavy play calling of passing, I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's always been kind of like Joe Burrow just making it happen, and then he's also kind of like moving his wrist a lot on the sideline. He's saying it's not bothering him, but I mean, my guy, you're really you're really rotating the wrist, man. You're really rotating the wrist. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see, guys. We'll see. I'm probably going to get to the 40 under 47.5. The spread is kind of messing with my head just because it's Joe Burrow and I respect him so much to like just battle and compete that like say the Chiefs are only up 10 at the end, like they'll probably let the Bengals score and then that would ruin the bet. So I'm probably going to stay off the side. I do lean the Chiefs though. I don't think the Bengals are right, guys. Offensively, I really don't. I think the Chiefs are right. I could easily see a 27-20 Chiefs win. That would cash the spread for the Chiefs and the under. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that game. All right, 3 games left. Steelers and the Broncos. And I like the Steelers -2.5. Oh, there's -2s with juice, but I don't take the juice, guys. I'm telling you, I've bet over thousands of bets. If I took -120, -115 as my average bet, as my average play instead of -110, I'd probably be like a break even better right now. I probably wouldn't win any money right now. I'd be like nothing ever happened. So believe me on that. Take the -2.5, -110 on the Steelers. I bet this game already, and like I get it. I mean, the Broncos are coming home 0-1. It's the home opener for Bo Nix. I know. I get it. There's some stuff to like there. But the only thing is the Broncos front seven's not very stout. The Steelers offensive line is showing that they can run the ball better, even with the young guys on the offensive line. If Siamulu comes back, like I like it even more. I love it. Um, yeah, I think the Steelers control the ball on the ground. I think they have enough playmakers and good coaching from Arthur Smith to just consistently move the ball, kind of like they did last week. Score, get in field goal range, keep scoring, keep getting in field goal range. So I like the Steelers to win this game for that reason, just because they've got a better run game against that front seven. They can control the game. That and the Steelers defense is really damn good. Like Bo Nix, I think you're gonna have a rough day potentially, man. Like I like you. I like the promise in Bo Nix for the future, but not this game. Not against the Steelers defense. That Steelers defense, that front seven is healthy, and they're one of the best front sevens in the NFL, if not the best. And so I'll be surprised if the Broncos are able to run the ball, and I'll be surprised if they can pass the ball because I think they're going to get pressure on Bo Nix. It's going to be a long day. I did not bet the total on that game. 36.5. That's really low, guys. And I can see Bo Nix turning the ball over. Who knows? Justin Fields is known to turn over the ball as well. So that could create quick scores, easy scores. Kind of like the over. 37 is a key number, so you're getting 36.5. I kind of like 36.5. All right, Sunday Night Football, Bears and the Texans. It's at -6, and I'm staying off this game, guys. Well, actually, I might get there with the under. I mean, I love betting unders, guys. I mean, if you yeah, and there's under money coming in because I think this line was at like 46.5, 47. The under money's coming in. Yeah, I might get there with the under because I really like the Bears defense. And they did pretty well last week. They didn't do as good against the run as I wish they did, but they did fairly well otherwise. And then the Texans, no, I might not get there with the over under Because Caleb Williams on the road, he might turn the ball over. I know he was really cautious last week, and he'll probably be cautious this week too. But I don't know. You can't be cautious all the time. And then if the Texans are up 2 scores, they're gonna that changes the style of the game. And that's probably you know what. The more I keep thinking about it, even though I like the Bears defense, on the road against a high-powered offense that they're gonna face, I don't love it. It could really skew the game script. But then I could also see the Bears defense playing well and keeping the game close. And for that reason, like I don't know the over under, and I really don't know the spread that well. Like if I had to lean anything, I'd say Bears +6 and under 45.5. That would be my lean. But I really don't know, guys. I mean, and again, it goes back to like predictable outcomes. I want to bet predictable outcomes or stuff that has a long history, right, of historical data. And Caleb Williams, did I call him Caleb Love? Sorry, guys. It's at the end of the podcast. Caleb Williams, we just don't know what he is yet, right? He has a ton of talent, ton of promise. I think he's going to do really well eventually, but it's his second game, right? So that's like an unknown. He might have an amazing offensive game. He might. He might break out and be amazing. Or he might show us what he did last week, where he's just kind of a game manager. That's what I would lean that way. But then the Texans might score. They might score a lot, and then it would change the whole script of the game. And then that's where I'm like, hey, you know what? Caleb Williams has to go out there and throw the ball a lot. Then he gets confident. He's like, well, this is what I just got to do now. So he throws the ball a lot, and who knows, guys? Who knows? So I'm staying off that side and total. I'd be very surprised if I got there. I'm not getting there, guys. I'm pretty disciplined when I know I don't have any like edge at all. Like I'm gonna stay off that game. All right, last game. I did bet this game already, and I'm going to be waiting to bet the Falcons +6.5. I'm going to hope it gets to +7. I think it's a way, way overreaction to Atlanta last week. 47.5. I bet the under already. Why? I love the Falcons defense. Love them. Love them. I love that they added Judon. Love that they added Justin Simmons, and they already have Jesse Bates, and they already have AJ Terrell. So they're very good in the secondary. Very good. And then also just they're 0-1, right? Eagles are 1-0. Falcons are going to be really coming in here trying to play well. Why? Because even though I don't like Raheem Morris like as a head coach, he has a lot of veteran leadership on that team. A very veteran offensive line. They've all been with each other for like 5 seasons now or something like that. And then they have a veteran defensive group. A lot of years on that defense. Like they know how to go on the road. They know how to handle Monday Night Football on the road. This isn't a new team. Yeah, it's a new coaching staff, but well, yeah, I mean the team's newly constructed in areas, but those new guys are very experienced Pro Bowl, All Pro players. Like they're damn good, right? So on the road, they know how to handle this situation. They'll be fine. They'll be poised. They're not going to give up stupid plays. So I don't think the Eagles are going to be able to score fast, right? I don't think they are. I don't think they are. And then I think they have enough to slow down the Eagles' run game where it doesn't go crazy on them. But even if it does, that's fine. I mean, run the ball, milk the clock. That's great. But then also on the other side of the equation, the Falcons' offense, they're still figuring things out. And they'll probably be able to run the ball against the Eagles, but again, that's fine. Run the ball, milk the clock, or run the clock. That's great. And they don't have the receivers to match up against that inexperienced secondary. The secondary could still be good for the Eagles this year, even though they didn't play well against the Packers last week. I still have hope in them to be better. But it's too early in the season for them to just be lights out. That, and then also Kirk Cousins, he's played in the NFC. He knows what it's like going to the Eagles when he played with the Redskins and also the Vikings. He played there last year on Thursday Night Football, and he covered the spread. So Kirk Cousins is very familiar with playing at Philadelphia in the lights. He knows the situation. It's a veteran group. I really think both these bets hit, guys. I feel really confident in these two bets. I haven't released the Falcons because I'm waiting on that +7. I think it might get there, but under 47.5, I like that too. I mean, 24-23. That could be the outcome. 24-23, it stays under 47.5. And then obviously the Falcons cover the +6.5. But even if the line doesn't get to +7, I'll be on the Falcons +6.5 for sure, for sure. Even if it goes to +6, if it goes to +6, I'm betting on the Falcons right away because it's probably not going back up. Yeah, it's a little bit overreaction to the Eagles and Falcons week 1 in my opinion. This line should be again closer to -3.5, -4. In my opinion, it should. It should. I know it's kind of taking a leap of faith on the Falcons offense is going to be better than what they showed last week, but I think they got some of the rust off. They got a week under Kirk Cousins has been playing the preseason. They got their little kinks out. They got a film an extra week. I mean, extra day of film study this week. Extra day to get healthy. Extra day to marinate on their loss. Think about their loss. Think about how they need to do better. They're going to be the more desperate team, guys. They are. This game stays close. I feel really confident in that. All right, that's it, guys. That is the show. Again, I'll do this every Wednesday after the first injury report comes out, so that way I can give a little bit more accurate information on what the teams are looking like. Again, if you like the show, thanks. This is like one of my favorite things to do all week, besides watching the bets cash on Sunday. And yeah, share it, like it, comment it, follow me on my social media. Trying to grow a following, trying to help you guys out, trying to help us all make money. So yeah, I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Thanks for listening.